The road to justice begins at UNC. Criminology students train side by side with our partner law enforcement agencies, working on the field with practical internships and real employment exam simulation. The College of Law is home to the finest legal minds in Bicol, changing our nation's future for the better, one UNC graduate at a time. UNC College of Law and UNC College of Criminal Justice Education, University of 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
In the University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, we nurture Bicol's educators.
Today, we forge a partnership with the National Teachers College in Manila, the pioneer in producing esteemed educators for our nation. With an enriched program, we nurture fine teachers who will mold the hearts and minds of our future generation. It all starts here, in the heart of Bicol.
The University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
Good day! Welcome to the University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃's webinar series, the very first academe-initiated webinar series in Bicolandia. I am 𝗦𝗫𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗲. I am a proud UNC ambassador, and here at UNC, I am future ready. In the previous episode, we featured the departments who have been molding leaders and moving lives, the College of Education and the School of Graduate Studies. Today, join us in the UNC webinar episode 5 entitled University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, Shaping Leaders of Today and Tomorrow. In this episode, we will hear it straight from the department heads, alumni, and the current students from the College of Arts and Sciences and the School of Law why UNC should be your school of choice. Later, before we wrap up the episode, we will give away to your questions and clarifications. So, are you all ready? Let's begin.
Hi, I am Kian Hamer, a proud ambassador of the University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. You are still tuned in the 5th episode of the UNC webinar series. This episode would feature the College of Arts and Sciences and School of Law. The title of this episode is University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, Shaping the Leaders of Today and Tomorrow. With the value proposition that we do not only educate the mind, but we also educate the heart, the University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 has bred generations of student achievers. Our university has won multiple awards in different scholastic and organizational competitions. And we believe that the primary reason behind this success is that each of our academic departments performs well. The first department for this week's episode is the College of Arts and Sciences, the premier seat of science and arts in the region. The department offers undergraduate programs that help develop future academicians, researchers, and professionals in the field of humanities, arts, and sciences. The first speaker from the College of Arts and Sciences is a graduate of UNC Bachelor of Arts in English in 2000 and UNC Bachelor of Arts in Political Science in 2001. He took the Teacher Certificate program right after, also in UNC, and taught in different institutions before pursuing his master's degree in public administration, also in the University of 𝗦𝗰𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃. He eventually joined the faculty of the College of Arts and Sciences as a college instructor and worked his way up from there. So from a faculty member to an area chairman of Behavior and Social Sciences Department to Director for Student Affairs of the university. Currently, he is serving as the Executive Director of the Center for Human Rights Education, a radio program host of UNC On Air with Kuya Kenji, and the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Let us all welcome Dean Kenji Himenea.
Thank you, Kian, for that heartwarming introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. To our viewers, good afternoon. UNC's College of Arts and Sciences is one of the oldest academic units established in the university. It is already 72 years old, same as the age of the University of 𝗦𝗏 Cáceres. Its vision is to develop holistically trained graduates in the field of humanities, natural sciences, and/or social sciences, equipped and prepared to make it in the real world of legal profession, media, education, human resource, and medicine. As a service college of the university, we provide foundation and preparatory courses responsive to local, regional, national, and global development goals. We also ensure to develop among our students intellectual discipline, sound thinking, and critical judgment towards an enlightened citizenry responsive to the needs of the community. For us to accomplish our vision and goals, we ensure that programs for faculty and student development to ensure quality of education for our stakeholders. As of now, we have two Level 2 accredited programs. The Liberal Arts Program, which includes Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. And of course, BS Biology program. I am happy to inform you, just recently, the Liberal Arts program of AS got its fresh Level 2 accreditation from 2019 to 2024 and has qualified to apply for Level 3 accreditation by next year, 2021. Moreover, this school year 2020-2021, we will implement multiple qualification program for our students, wherein international certifications from Coursera and LinkedIn will be embedded in some of our professional subjects for expanded academic learning experience and for career development as well. Now that we are in the new normal, the College of Arts and Sciences is future ready to ensure that everyone makes it in the midst of pandemic. The question is, why is the study of degree or degrees we offered in the AS still relevant in the new normal? UNC College of Arts and Sciences has developed its own unique version of science and liberal arts courses it offers. This is because of the multidisciplinary enhancements integrated in each program. We also enrich our programs so that it cultivates 21st century proficiencies that are vital in any modern profession. This means that students who enroll in our programs gain unique advantages in the form of multiple qualifications for a broad range of career paths. This has revolutionized our course offerings because it gives our students a wider range of career opportunities because of the skills, knowledge, and proficiencies our programs provide our students. Our general education subjects follow the prescribed content by the Commission on Higher Education, but we also added skills enhancement and development in each subject. An example of this is the integration of time management and readings in Philippine history as a skill to be developed by the students. We made also similar enhancement in our professional subjects. This is seen with critical thinking being integrated as a target skill for development in major subjects in each program. Now, the next question would be, are we prepared for the new normal? Yes, we are prepared. The following things were made to ensure that we are ready to serve our students this first semester, school year 2020-2021. First in the list is extensive engagement with students and other stakeholders in the form of consultation. Before the end of the previous academic year and during the summer, there has been extensive engagement between the school administrators, students, and other stakeholders. This was through series of consultations, and we will still adapt that in the first semester. This enables us to adapt changes that are sensitive and represent the best interest of students, parents, and other stakeholders. The changes we made still enabled us to maintain the university academic standards, values, purpose as an academic institution, even in the new normal. The second is we redesign the educational delivery systems and course offerings. After consulting students, parents, and other stakeholders of the university, UNC and the College of Arts and Sciences set to work redesigning the way we would deliver education. This includes revising and improving the programs in our college and resulted in course offerings that can be taught through online systems or FlexiTech or carefully prepared modules, FlexiKit, and study guides which require little or no internet connectivity at all. Each program also revised subjects so that they can be easily taken with updated content. Number 3 is training and enhancement courses for faculty and preparation for education in the new normal. During the summer, our faculty members have undertaken numerous training, seminars, and workshops. This prepared them for the new delivery of education under the new normal. This also broadened their understanding of how courses can best be taught through multiple modes and in the context of distance education. Even now, faculty members are still pursuing online courses, joining workshops and seminars that would provide them useful skills and proficiencies that would significantly increase their ability to deliver education even in these trying times. The number 3 question would be, why should students choose to study in the College of Arts and Sciences? There are 3 things that I would like you to remember, my dear students. First, we have our student-centric learning framework. We give more focus on an outcome-based education for the different courses we are offering in the College of Arts and Sciences. You will learn at your own pace. Second, flexible and technology-driven educational delivery system. It means that the UNC College of Arts and Sciences have adopted FlexiTech and FlexiKit, the 2 modalities that will ensure that even though you are in your homes, you will still be able to learn and you will still be able to gain the knowledge and the skills that you need for your future profession. And the third is updated curriculum and redesigned courses for the new normal. As I have said, we have incorporated some enhancements in our curriculum, like embedding Coursera, LinkedIn, so that this will improve your learning. This will improve your qualification. This will give you a better future. With that, I think I have already expressed all the things that you want to know. I would like to express my gratitude to the team conducting this webinar activity. And to my students, to our students, welcome to the College of Arts and Sciences, the home of the diverse dreamers and future leaders. Thank you and good afternoon. Mabuhay.
Hi everyone, this is 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗏 and I am Future Ready at UNC. This is episode 5 of the first ever academe-initiated webinar series in Bicolandia. The College of Arts and Sciences is creating compelling careers and forging finer future. Headed by Dean Kenji Himenea, this department raises professionals who can think critically, work collaboratively, lead creatively, communicate effectively, and adapt quickly. And this is exactly what our featured AS student hopes to become. We will meet an incoming third-year AB Psychology student of the University of Nueva Cáceres College of Arts and Sciences, a proud resident scholar of the university. He is a student leader, now the president of the Association of Psychology Majors, and currently the interim vice chair of the College of Arts and Sciences Council. Everyone, let's say hello to Mr. Joshua Angelo Ronda.
Hello there, how are you all doing? Hope you are all safe and having a good time. Anyway, before anything else, I would like first to thank the University of Nueva Cáceres for giving me the opportunity to talk about my student life and my college journey as an AS student. So, it is my honor to share with you all how much the university, especially my department, the College of Arts and Sciences, honed me to become who I am at the present and continuously molding me to become future ready. Let me share with you a glimpse of experience before I decided choosing UNC College of Arts and Sciences as my new home. Honestly, it is one of the big steps and risky decisions I have made in life. I spent most of my education in a university starting from my primary until secondary, taking up 12 years. It was really a big step up choosing UNC instead of the university I've spent most of my life with because of the primary reason that my comfort zone will be in great discomfort. However, aside from UNC offering my desired course, which is psychology, I still decided to risk my comfort zone for my passion and chosen profession because of the fact that UNC ensures that everyone makes it. I have come to realize that maybe it was destined for me to explore new horizon. And guess what? One thing I can assure is that it might be a risky one for me at first, but I am proud to say that I took risk because it is really worth taking. Moreover, I am grateful enough for the influences of my family and friends and the support I gained from them. That is why I stand tall and courageously take the risk pursuing my chosen profession. Being with the College of Arts and Sciences for almost 3 years now have been one of the key features of my life journey. Truly, they do not just nurture us with knowledge and life skills, but they also provide us a family to lean on and grow with. I remember the first day I stepped in the university, my College of Arts and Sciences family have never made me felt left behind and accepted me for who I am back then. From that day onward, I started to live with the AS spirit. I cannot imagine my college journey as exciting as this one, but because of UNC CAS, I got to discover some of my strengths and weaknesses as a student leader, and as a person. A lot has changed in me because of UNC CAS. I have been more confident and I started to risk things to achieve my goals. Words cannot really describe and express how much I humbly thank 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏 for little by little bringing out the best in me. But if I were given the chance to choose my department once again, I would probably choose 𝗏𝗏 over again. With 𝗏𝗏, I have been able to widen my capability of leading and promoting what is right and good for the studentry. Chosen to be the one to lead a pack of future psychologists is not really an easy thing to do. Aside from balancing your academics and your responsibilities, there will be times where you almost give up and break down. But being with a family like 𝗏𝗏, I was able to strengthen my character in overcoming adversities and managing people, especially my priorities, which are my studies and leadership responsibilities. That's why being able to showcase my capacity and helping my organization to have a podium finish was really a fulfilling moment for me as a student leader, and as a person. One big achievement I have made because of these changes I acquired from 𝗏𝗏 is for vying the position of our college council's vice chairperson after finishing my term as the president of the Association of Psychology Majors. I cannot really tell what made me decide, but it is by looking at my 𝗏𝗏 family and gaining support from them. I felt like I have never been stressed by my priorities, past commitments, and responsibilities. Maybe it was really one of the effects of living with the AS spirit. You never entertain fear and exhaustion to overcome you, and you give everything you got for the sake and glory of the students. Another student life memory I have because of 𝗏𝗏 is the friends turned family I have found. I am blessed enough to study in a prestigious school, but meeting people who I will gel, laugh, and grow with is one extraordinary blessing I have received from the Lord. At first, since I was a transferee and everything is really new to me, I never imagined to befriend other students. I am shy and a bit afraid to socialize, but fortunate enough to have been in a class who have been able to bond swiftly. Aside from the friends I have found in my class, AS let me venture and meet other students from different courses. I was encouraged to accept diversity and be open for experiences. One thing that made me comfortable with my new family and made me adjust in a short span of time are the student-friendly activities they have to secure that there will be no students left behind and there will be no boundaries that separate us. To cite one of the best events I experienced under 𝗏𝗏 was my first ever AS days. It was in my first year, and the council officers have prepared lots of activities to unite all of us. It is challenging because you will be separated from your friends, but fulfilling in a sense that you got to enjoy the event with people you are not used to be with. Also, it is because of the nurturing environment they have that I have been able to let go of my worries being a freshman and adapt naturally. It is just an evidence that College of Arts and Sciences nurtures students' emotional relationship besides offering them quality education. UNC CAS encouraged me to be more, believe in myself, and to aim for the sky. Humbly speaking, I am beyond grateful that I had seniors and professors who lit up and reignite the fire in me. It is because of them that I found myself back aiming for greater heights. Aside from my pen and paper, it is also because of the quality education and the interactive teaching methods CAS offers that I have been granted as one of the resident scholars of the university from my first year until the present. It really helped me a lot, especially my parents, in terms of financial concerns, and it really boosted my confidence in trusting myself that I can really make it. It was settled then that when I entered college, I told myself that, hey, this will be a tough ride. There will be a lot of changes and you should expect nothing. And so I did. I never expected that in my very first semester in the university, I am able to make my parents proud, for I made it to the Dean's List and the scholarship program of the university. This is just a testament that a dreamer can make his or her dreams came true when they trust and believe in themselves. It is with great pleasure to share with you that UNC CAS became one of my backbones who supported me all throughout my journey and in unlocking my goals. Everything starts within yourself, but without a great foundation to help you grow and connect with you, just like how College of Arts and Sciences did for me, it will surely be a rough and rocky road for you. Nonetheless, there are a lot of things I have learned because of being with the College of Arts and Sciences. In my stay, I did not just enable myself to widen my capability to lead, strengthen my character, and aim for greater heights. I also have been able to gain experiences when it comes to public speaking, most probably not my very strength. Viewing it in a personal point of view, it is just a manifestation that in College of Arts and Sciences, they do not just treat you as a student, they treat you as a family. Humbly speaking, my student life will never be as extreme and memorable as this one, if not because of the opportunities CAS has given me. To my CAS family, I will forever cherish the learnings and memories I have with you. Know that without all of you, I am not who I am supposed to be today. To all dreamers out there, I need you to tell yourself these lines. I am great, I am brave, I am worthy, and I can do it. Enhance your potentials and aim for greater heights. Let your wings take you to your desired altitude, but never forget to keep your feet grounded. As UNC quoted, nurturing better tomorrows for all, I am humble and proud to say that I, Joshua Angel Ronda, am a living proof that UNC College of Arts and Sciences nurtures students not just academically, but with life learnings and memories. Be with us and discover more about yourself in the home of diverse dreamers and future leaders. Take it from me, never settle for less, dream for greater heights, and soar high. Thank you.
In the University of Nueva Cáceres, we nurture future engineers.
Today, we strengthen the engineering program through an academic alliance with Mapua University. Together with UNC's nurturing environment, we prepare our Bicol graduates to compete nationwide and abroad and excel in their careers.
The University of Nueva Cáceres, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
Our next speaker is a licensed professional teacher and has shared her knowledge as a learning facilitator in the UNC Senior High School Department for 3 years. She's a graduate of AB Political Science in UNC and is currently a third-year Juris Doctor student of the UNC School of Law. She prepared for her storied political career since college, where she became renowned and successful as a passionate orator and debater. She's the champion and the tournament's best speaker in UNC's first President Jaime Hernandez Debate Cup in 2013. A consistent awardee and an active student of her time, she was a finalist in the second regional ABS-CBN newscasting competition in 2013 and was a Naga City youth official in 2014. She received recognition as one of the 10 outstanding UNC Arts and Sciences students of the year 2015. The blood of an authentic debater must be running through the veins of our next speaker, because after a couple of years, she recently won the overall Best Adjudicator of South Luzon in the 9th installment of the annual Xavier Cup Debate Tournament in 2019. Aside from these, she is a freelance events host of big events such as the presentation of Miss Earth 2019 candidates in Naga City, Mr. Bicolandia 2019, the Miss Bicolandia 2019 preliminary competition, and the Haliao Awards 2019 of the Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She is an epitome of the phrase beauty and brains, for she won several outstanding awards in local and national beauty pageants such as the Miss Kaugma Tourism 2019, Mutya ng Ibalong 2019 third runner-up, Miss Bicolandia 2018 first runner-up, and the Miss JCI Philippines 2019 first runner-up. She is currently the Deputy Secretary of 𝗔𝗿𝗁𝗀𝗲𝗃 and the Director for Marketing and Public Relations of the UNC Law School Board. Her achievements engendered very active involvement and leadership, not just in schools, but also in professional organizations. Currently, she is the Interim Public Relations Officer of the Association of Law Students of the Philippines, South Luzon. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you our next speaker, a true modern Bicolana, Ms. Cristel A. Sales.
Thank you, Kian, for that generous introduction. It is indeed my great pleasure to say a few words and share with you how my education at UNC helped me become who I am now. UNC was not my top choice. I was an accountancy major for 2 years in another university. My dad's dream was for me to become a CPA lawyer. It was when I flunked practical accounting 2 that my dad insisted that I transfer to UNC because that is his alma mater where he graduated accountancy. When I was already in the business and accountancy department, I got a call from him telling me to take the course that I really want. So, in a heartbeat, I chose political science from the arts and sciences department. At first, I was sad to leave my school and my friends, but it was not hard to gain new friends in UNCAS. The students in the higher levels were approachable and accommodating. They never stopped encouraging us to participate in all activities of the university. The College of Arts and Sciences may be small in number, but every day felt like being in a big family. A lot of doors opened, and each time that I grabbed an opportunity, the AS department was right behind my back, supporting me. I realized that just because I am taking a different road does not mean that I am lost. Life is about breaking our limits and outgrowing ourselves to live our best life. At every point, we will have something new to learn about life. I have been on the journey of self-development for some time now. It was only after I went out of my comfort zone and dared to take my first subjects in the political science program back in 2013 that I realized there really is so much more to life. Challenges, improvements, knowledge, achievements, and the list go on. I am now both a student leader and a student of justice. It was during college when I was empowered to take active roles in the department and develop positive skills in the process. I may have received some awards, but my life at UNC was not always about winning. UNC taught me how to accept defeat and how important it is to bounce back. UNC exists for the core purpose of ensuring that everyone makes it. Every student who enters the portals of UNC, those who want to be given a chance, are given the chance. For this reason, the university is here to develop the skills and confidence in its students to meet the real challenges in life and give them a chance of a better future. True to its motto, non scolae sed vitae, the College of Arts and Sciences is dedicated to help in making things happen. It was the Association of Political Science Students that ignited my dream of becoming a public servant. Studying Philippine politics, governance, and law made my vision of becoming a servant leader more vivid. Today, I serve the UNC Law Student Body as the Director for Marketing and Public Relations of the UNC Law School Board. Recently, I accepted the challenge as the Interim Public Relations Officer of the Association of Law Students of the Philippines in South Luzon. I believe that doing my best in what I do and preparing for the task at hand are manifestations of how this university has molded me and developed in me what a UNC graduate is expected to be. As we deal with life's challenges, we have to keep in mind that there are no shortcuts or free rides. Like in sports, there is a need to do all the preparation beforehand, perform during the actual competition, take the bruises and knockdowns, but get up and put one's best foot forward. I am a modern Bicolana. I still feel blessed to have the crowns and the titles from notable beauty pageants because we live in a society mobilized by influence and power. A beauty pageant is more than the grit, glitz, and glamour because it's an avenue to shed light and bring attention to causes and foster a genuine desire to make a difference. If Helen of Troy had a face that launched 1,000 ships, a beauty queen can surely spark a fire that could blazon up thousands of people to move towards a better world. I became a more responsible netizen. I learned how important it is to address my audience. I have a bigger platform and an audience who listens to me, which is why I am using my voice to be the voice of those who are unheard. I am now a more responsible global citizen. The College of Arts and Sciences instilled in me the importance of taking active roles outside our campus. I became more aware of my responsibility to educate others on how to take responsible action. That is why I joined the Junior Chamber International 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗲 chapter. It is a training and leadership organization that aims to provide a positive impact by being proactive catalysts of change. This organization made me see and understand what it is like out there. I learned how to become more patient, resilient, understanding, and compassionate. As a member, I was exposed to varied and unique situations that were way much different from a regular organizational setting. I have learned the art of multitasking and have discovered my other skills and potentials that I never thought I had. I have developed a new level of appreciation for a lot of things after witnessing the beauty and potential of the poor communities despite its difficulties and struggles. I am happy that I experienced that at this time when I have better eyes to see, a more compassionate heart capable of understanding, and the incredible drive to bring positive change to those around me. It also gave me a new way of dealing with other people, and in time, a new way of being. Without wanting to sound too warm and fuzzy, it has been a very affirming experience. I have worked alongside my co-members and friends in the JCI 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗀𝗲 who are now prime movers, the cream of the crop. UNCAS envisions its graduates to become future ready. It educates its students not just for today, but for tomorrow. Through its multi-qualification program, students will acquire industry-certified and internationally certified competencies for their upskilling, multi-skilling, and lifelong learning. Many career opportunities await a UNCAS graduate. A political science graduate may pursue law or teach, may even pursue public service or a career in media. A psychology graduate may pursue to become a psychometrician or a management position in a corporation. A biology graduate may pursue medicine or may teach. I never thought that I am where I am today because this is not what I had planned years ago. UNC may not have been my first choice, but choosing to stay was one of the best decisions that I made in my life because I know that it is where I am supposed to be. It is through my UNC education that I learned how we should be able to have a new lens to interpret and make sense of the reality and the complex challenges we are grappling during unprecedented times. Words cannot express the gratitude and appreciation I have for the UNC College of Arts and Sciences. I will be forever indebted to my teachers who have helped me get through all the hurdles of student life. And I consider myself truly fortunate for learning from well-envisioned experts of their caliber, which made my student life immeasurably better. I am Cristel A. Sales, and I am a proud alumna of the College of Arts and Sciences.
I lost my eyesight in 1998.
Pasensya na.
Before UNC, I was rejected by several schools.
Di pwede eh.
Everyone was having doubts. But UNC gave a simple yes. I am a person with disability taking my master's. I want to inspire others. Pwedeng mag-college, pwedeng mag-masters, pwede pang mag-doctorate. Gusto kong maging motivation sa ibang may disability na kaya pa.
Nurturing minds and hearts, training the future educators and experts of Bicol. UNC College of Education and School of Graduate Studies. University of 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗲, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
In traversing our student journey, we must navigate with courage, perseverance, and determination. That is why a strong department must have a good leader. Someone who leads by example by doing the right things rightly, inspires both students and faculty in productivity, as well as moving forward without leaving anyone behind. Our next speaker finished his primary school at Naga Parochial School. The nearness of the school to the Holy Rosary Minor Seminary enticed him to become a priest back then. He took his secondary education in the minor seminary, and still with the vocation, he further went to the Holy Rosary Major Seminary where he earned his degree in philosophy. He took a sabbatical leave from the seminary and no longer found his way back. He finished his Bachelor of Laws degree at UNC in 1993 and took the bar exams in the same year. He passed the Philippine bar and was admitted to the rolls in 1994 and became a proud member of the IBP Camarines Sur chapter. He started the practice of law as a private practitioner in 1994 and up to the present. At the same time, he became part of the academe in the same year because he believes that one's knowledge of the law should be shared. Now he is happily married with 2 kids. He is also the Dean of the UNC School of Law. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our speaker who is continuously sharing his knowledge of the law, Attorney Antonio C. Rivero.
The necessity of the study of law, or knowledge of law, dates back as early as with the start of mankind. It is because of this that despite this new normal, the study of law is very much relevant. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were told and asked, and they have to follow a rule, a law, that they should not eat a particular fruit. We all know that they have violated it, and they even resorted to finger pointing to absolve oneself of liability. Adam and Eve seemed unaware of the law then. The study of law actually is not only for those who would want to be lawyers. It should be for everyone, because to know the law is for every person's duty and responsibility. Thus, we have this famous saying in law that a freshman law student would resoundingly say, "Ignorantia legis non excusat." Ignorance of the law excuses no one. We can never avoid liability by saying we do not know the law. Thus, the need to study and know the law. The study of law was and will always be part of every person's existence and daily life. The new normal has not changed or varied the need to study law, especially for those who would want to be lawyers, because every person's basic rights has to be defended and upheld. The new normal has not suspended and should not suspend the right of every person to exercise his basic human rights. This has to be protected, and this can be made possible by making the study of law not only relevant, but in fact, a necessity in the new normal. It is the freedom to exercise these basic rights that makes a person human. Thus, the need for lawyers and the study of law is very relevant in this new normal. The School of Law department has to prepare under this new normal. We have to prepare the faculty as well as the students. After months of online teaching, when the study of law was abruptly stopped sometime in March 2020, the new normal has made us to study law via distance learning. Faculty members had undergone seminars on how to do online training. The Legal Education Board and the Philippine Association of Law Schools has in fact sponsored series of seminars to law faculty members on how to deliver the subject matter in law by means of online learning. On top of this, University of Nueva Cáceres has also given seminars like the Coursera, and recently will be utilizing the LMS and Blackboard Learn. Our faculty members will have hands-on seminar on this, as well as online seminar on how to utilize these online teaching devices. On the part of the students, the abrupt suspension of classes likewise brought them to no choice except to learn law by online teaching. UNC School of Law faculties and students has to make use of available online means like the Facebook, the FB Messenger, the Zoom, and other devices just to cope up with the changing of times under this new normal. As this pandemic continues, University of Nueva Cáceres, particularly the School of Law, has prepared for the school year 2020 and 2021, especially the use of LMS Blackboard Learn and other online devices. This new online teaching method has been cascaded to the students already for their initial view. And for their orientation seminar, the use of this teaching method will be lengthily discussed and taken up. Thus, the new normal has taught us to be ready on online delivery of the subject. And University of Nueva Cáceres School of Law has already prepared for this. Students should choose University of Nueva Cáceres School of Law. We have many reasons to do so. The first is that UNC is the first law school in Bicol Region since 1948. We have been molding students for almost 7 decades to become future leaders of the community. Secondly, UNC offers an affordable and quality law education ever since its inception in 1948. The founder of UNC, Dr. Jaime Hernandez, a lawyer himself, wanted to bring the education, especially the study of law, nearer to every Bicolano. This affordable and quality education remains up to this time.
Hi, I'm 𝗦𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗲, Natividad, your proud UNC ambassador, and I am future ready at UNC. You're still watching the UNC webinar series, episode 5. The UNC School of Law is beyond a doubt a premier law school in the Bicol region. Today, we are so honored to meet a highly esteemed alumnus of the UNC School of Law. We are blessed to be joined by a man of wisdom who is making a difference in the community. He completed his Bachelor of Laws at the University of Nueva Cáceres in 1995, and currently he is a professor in the UNC School of Law. He has been a successful private law practitioner for almost 23 years and took on various leadership capacities. He is the former Secretary General of Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, Special Assistant to the Secretary of the Department of Interior and Local Government. He is a former City Legal Officer of Naga City and a former consultant in the Philippine Senate. He has served as legal counsel for the government, private sector, and non-government organizations. He is also a community leader, championing social enterprise, the cause of the poor, urban development, and special education, among others. As a media practitioner, he is hosting a public affairs program offering free legal advice to listeners. He is a Christian minister and indeed an outstanding alumnus of the UNC School of Law. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Attorney Angel R. III.
Thank you, Faye, for that very humbling introduction. You have practically narrated my life's journey. As a lawyer, graduate of UNC, it has been a lifelong journey for me. Up until today, I'm still on that journey, and I'm still learning so much about the past, the present, and what the future holds. But let me share with you that life story. And I have three things that I would like to share with you. The first thing is, of course, a description of what I am now, which I always become nervous of every time I speak about myself. But the second thing is that, and I think that's a more important thing, is how did my education in UNC uh, help me do things that I do today? And the third thing that I would like to share with you, based on the collectiveness of all that historical experiences and the perspectives that I got from my experiences as a UNC law graduate and as a lawyer, will be about the insights for the future of a UNC law graduate. So let me begin with describing what I am, not who I am, because who I am is not much that important. What I am because of what is being done because of that partnership that I had with UNC. Well, I have become a God's servant, and I believe that it should always be at the top of the list, the top of the mind. For whatever we do, we must always do it for the glory of God. And UNC has always been a nurturing partner in terms of nurturing that spirituality. It has been a great intervener in terms of developing the moral standards of its students. I'm also a father and husband. I have two kids, and my wife is a graduate also of the UNC Law, School of Law. And that's also how I got into a relationship with my wife. And I've been a lawyer for 23 years, and being a lawyer, I should say, someone might ask me, is being a lawyer a bed of roses? Some would say it's not, but I would say yes, because it's with the thorns that come along with the roses. You have a lot of thorns along the way. Now, I'm also a professor of law, and I teach environmental law, international law, and constitutional law review. And I teach those subjects by design, by intention, because I believe that those three subjects will be able to help me improve as a lawyer, as a citizen, and as a policy consultant. We are battling two kinds of wars right now. We have the pandemic and we have the climate change. I believe that these three subjects that I teach, and which the College of Law has generously been supportive of, I chose this. I am also a national policy consultant, and as the introduction had mentioned, I've been into local government and national government, and I've been into crafting of many programs and both legislative and executive policies at the national level. And I'm also a current corporate policy consultant. Right now, I'm connected with various social enterprises. These are corporations who are into impact investing, and these are the things that these are the kinds of investments that are done to have a good impact on society itself. Not very much on the profit of it. And I'm also a farmer. It's one of my therapeutic activities, and it's also my way of expressing my advocacies as an environmental lawyer and also as a professor of environmental law. Now, I'm done with saying so much about myself. I have 5 things to say about the UNC factor. The first thing is, of course, in my experience, there has been an inclusive education. There is inclusivity. You know, I came from from a poor family. Back in 1991, when I enrolled in the college, I could not have been a student at all. But I became a student of UNC because of the Antonio and Season scholarship. I was one of the first full scholars of the UNC College of Law in 1991. And because of that, I graduated. And I noticed that many of my classmates are were working students. And these are the kinds of employees that have dreams. They are not rich. Most of them are just living by every day. But UNC has been able to accept them, has been able to support them, has been able to understand their situation and encourage these working students. And so I sensed and I felt the inclusivity of the education in UNC. Of course, there is that participatory approach of UNC. I never felt that during the entire stay of mine in UNC as a student, that I was excluded from major activities, from major decision making. In fact, I was part of the student government at the time. I became the governor of the Law Student Council. And we were constantly consulted by the administration back then, and I'm sure up to this day, about many decisions that needed to be made to improve the conditions and the environment of the academic community. One of the best things also that I gained from the help and partnership with UNC was the grit factor. You know, when I was applying for a job after my graduation, I was looking for a job in Makati, and most of the big institutions, they were looking for UP grad, LaSalle grad, and Ateneo grad. All right, so when they asked me, where did you graduate from? And I said, from University of 𝗦𝗰𝗶𝗲𝗀𝗏 Cáceres. And they were asking, where is that? Then I have to go through a litany of explanation, where is University of 𝗦𝗰𝗶𝗲𝗀 Cáceres at the time? But I resolved to myself, I said, UNC has helped me have that strength of character to be able to showcase what we have. And so I persisted. So persistence was part of the grit factor. And as soon as I had an opening, and it was a humble opening, and after I got employed in a five-star hotel in Makati, in 1 month's time, I got promoted. And since then, I became part of the pool of trainers that train the managers of the hotel. And so since then, when people ask me, where did I graduate? And I said, University of 𝗦𝗶𝗲𝗀 Cáceres. They knew immediately then, where is the University of 𝗦𝗶𝗲𝗀 Cáceres? And there was also this honoring tradition of the university. All these things that we talk about, all these things that have been done in the past, has been carried on into today's discussions and will be carried on into the next decade of the development of UNC. It is the tradition that make us who we are. And I have to go back to UNC to teach because I feel that I belong, I'm welcome. And that's because of the honoring tradition of UNC. There's also this progressive mindset. Through the years since 1991 that I entered into the law course until I graduate, I have seen so many changes in UNC. Not just in the physical aspect of UNC, but also in terms of substance, content. I was a product of the old school of the law school, wherein you have this old school grandstanding type of instruction, and also of being a student, and also of being a lawyer. Now, that is no longer prevalent. What we have right now is a very accommodating environment and very facilitative environment. That is progress by itself. When everyone can be accommodated, when everyone can be given attention, when everyone's concerns can be given resolution. Now, let me take a fast forward because we need to see the future. We have considered the history of UNC, my own personal history, and what I do right now. So let's talk about some insights for the future, especially for future lawyers. What do we expect? And how is UNC responding to this directional path for the future? For lawyers, we must expect the massive onset of legal technology. We have now artificial intelligence to consider. We have big data, and we have online courts already. Then we have to consider predictive lawyering. All right, let me take this. The pandemic has given us both a crisis and an opportunity. Before the pandemic, these things, legal technology, AI, big data, has been in the pipeline already of the discussions among lawyers, among law firms, among institutions. Now, the onset of pandemic has facilitated the greater role of legal technology. Right now, the Supreme Court has issued so many issuances that allows lawyers and courts to interact and continue to do its judicial work, the legal work using internet. Not only that, we are seeing right now data analytics. We are seeing right now the onset of many technologies that would aid lawyers. And so lawyers must be prepared for this. And I believe that UNC is providing already the environment. It is already present. UNC has already invested in this. At the start of this year, in January, I remember that there was a meeting between the administration and the faculty of the School of Law. And there was this disclosure of the investments of UNC insofar as the technology is concerned, insofar as big data is concerned, insofar as the future path of UNC. Now let's go to that area of what is to come. The future will be looking for predictive lawyering. And what is that about? Lawyers will no longer deal with the traditional court appearances, the traditional litigation. In fact, many years ago, lawyering has shifted from litigation to disputes resolution. And UNC has quite impressively shifted to that focus on helping resolve disputes insofar as the law is concerned. We have been training lawyers already in alternative disputes resolutions. But one step further, when we use legal technology, and UNC is preparing us into that, there is already this predictive analysis of data. Big data will be compiled wherein we will be able to understand the risks that may be involved. And so the future lawyers will be able to have that capacity and skill to advise clients to avoid legal risks without going into litigation. And I feel right now that the environment of the School of Law of UNC is in that direction. And we are into development not only of the IQ of the students, but also the EQ, empathy, emotional quotient, DQ, decision quotient, and SQ, spiritual quotient. It's not important. It's not so much of the intellectual ability of a student that makes him a successful one, but it's also the capacity of every student to have empathy with others that makes us who we are as UNCians. And we will be able to achieve that success as lawyers because we could decide quickly and with empathy because of our decision quotient developed in law school. And of course, we have now more emphasis on our spirituality. The pandemic has given us an opportunity to really bring out our spirituality. A lawyer who has no morality or spiritual standards will be a useless lawyer in the future. He could be a tyrant because he doesn't have the moral and spiritual standards. Now, I feel that UNC is in that right direction of instilling the morality and the spirituality of future lawyers. And then we have to continue to help resolve social, environmental, and political challenges because that is the only way that lawyers will be relevant for the future. Otherwise, lawyers will be of no great value. Now, UNC has been in touch with the community at large. It has been aware of the many problems and it's very participative. I have been a part of that. So I thank UNC for all that has been done by the institution. So let me summarize this. I could not have been the lawyer that I am today. And I could not have done the things that I do if not for UNC. So thank you, UNC. I'm sure that we will still be partners in the future. Thank you.
In the University of Nueva Cáceres, we nurture Bicol's educators.
Today, we forge a partnership with the National Teachers College in Manila, the pioneer in producing esteemed educators for our nation. With an enriched program, we nurture fine teachers who will mold the hearts and minds of our future generation. It all starts here, in the heart of Bicol.
The University of Nueva Cáceres, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
Hi there, this is Cristel and you are still watching episode 5 of the UNC webinar series. The last speaker for this episode is an incoming fourth-year Juris Doctor student of the UNC School of Law and a 9-time debate champion who dedicated a decade of his life bringing the art of debate to the less privileged students in Bicol through his brainchild, the Debate Caravan. His pre-law degree was Bachelor of Science in Nursing because most in his family are in the medical profession. But halfway through nursing, he found debate, which made him reconsider his career options. After becoming a registered nurse, he tried his luck by applying for the highly sought-after Antonio Morancisan Scholarship, which is the full scholarship given by UNC to aspiring lawyers, which by grace he earned. So instead of working as an angel of the sick room, he endeavored to pursue balancing the scales of justice. Halfway through law school, fate called him to the noble profession of teaching. So he left law school and strived to become a licensed professional teacher. By grace, he immediately landed on a regular and permanent teaching job in the Department of Education. For 2 years, he taught in small, unventilated classrooms with 80 students cramping inside each of them. Then a financial situation in the family led him to seek greener pasture, which was when he strived to become a licensed financial advisor. In less than a year, he became the top financial advisor of Bicol, landed on the top 100 of Luzon, and got into the top 2% of the entire sales force of the company. He eventually decided to come home to UNC Law, where his heart truly lies. He was elected governor of the UNC Law School Board, where he initiated several reforms and projects which made the student life in UNC Law better. Under his leadership, the operation of the UNC Law Library was extended up to Sunday without additional costs to the students. UNC Law finally became a member in good standing of the Association of Law Students of the Philippines. The UNC Law Moot and Debate Circle was established, where he was elected as founding president. He represented the University of Nueva Cáceres in the Vietnam legal camp last January and was supposed to represent the Philippine and Asian region in the International Students of Law Conference in St. Petersburg, Russia last April if it weren't for this pandemic. He was appointed as the Director for Students' Rights and Welfare of the Association of Law Students of the Philippines and elected as the Chairman of the Technical Working Group tasked by the Legal Education Board to draft the Magna Carta of Law Students of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker, an activist, a leader, a lawyer in the making, Mr. 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗲.
Thank you, Cristel, for that very kind introduction. The overarching question my talk seeks to answer is why UNC Law? But before I jump to why I chose to entrust UNC with my dream, let's first talk about why law. And the quick answer is debate. After my parents forbade me to go to Manila for college, I found myself heeding their advice to take up nursing with the option to pursue medicine afterwards. The plan was clear. The path was laid out. But I guess fate always has ways of leading us to where we are supposed to be. Halfway through college, I found debate and I fell in love with it. Because of debate, I gained awareness of the array of issues plaguing the world, which disturbed me to the point that I would lie awake at night, figuring out how I could possibly be a force of good, which would help in transforming this world from what it is to what it should be. Because of debate, I gained abilities which led me to consider the legal profession as a career I'll devote the years of my life to. So with the right amount of encouragement from my family and peers, I decided to pursue law after nursing. Now the question is, why did I choose UNC Law? Not just once, but twice. First in 2012 after college, and then in 2018 when I decided to come home to where I truly belong, the study of law. Of course, I did my due diligence in both times and found 3 reasons why UNC Law should be my law school of choice then and still. The first reason is time-tested quality. Over 7 decades, UNC Law served as a pillar of legal education in Bicolandia after producing over 750 Bicolano lawyers, a handful of bar top-notchers, associate justices of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeals, over 70 trial court judges, over 150 prosecutors, over 300 public officials, and last 2016, a Vice President of the Philippines. The second reason is reliable faculty. As 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗲 so eloquently said, it's the teacher that makes the difference, not the classroom. UNC Law ensures that the law professors are not only exceptional as legal practitioners, but are also remarkable as legal educators, ripened by time, ripened by experience. The third reason why I chose UNC Law then and now is because of accessibility. People have always been victimized by the notion that cost is always directly proportional to quality, only to feel betrayed later on when the value one got isn't the commensurate value to the price that one paid. But that's not the case in UNC Law, because UNC believes that everyone should make it, and not just a select market which others take pride to only target. UNC makes sure that even students like me, who are not as privileged as others, who have to work alongside studying, who have to settle with older editions or borrow books from upperclassmen, can access the same, if not better, quality of legal education. Because of UNC, the dream of becoming a lawyer was democratized. What was once reserved to the rich and powerful can finally be within reach for people like me who did not exactly win the birth lottery. With these 3 reasons, time-tested quality, reliable faculty, and accessibility, how can the deal not be sealed? But choosing is one thing, staying is another. Now the question is, why did I stay in UNC Law? And there are 2 main reasons. The first is because of the supportive environment. Aligned with its core value of doing the right things rightly, UNC invests in the holistic development aimed at the future readiness of the students. During my first attempt in law school, UNC not only granted me with the AMS scholarship, but also supported my participation in events like the first ever Philippine Model Congress in the Philippine Senate, legal symposiums, and other competitions like debate and public speaking. All these opportunities contributed in unlocking my potentials, which drove me to become the person I am today. Also, in recognizing the efforts and not the mistakes, UNC ensures that students treat each other as comrades, not as rivals, in order to usher a toxic-free, healthy environment conducive for learning. We share our notes, exchange learning materials, quiz each other before exams, and even passionately discuss our varying takes on matters in and out of law school. In UNC, our professors believe in us. In UNC, we build each other up. But the second reason why I stayed in UNC is because of my personal philosophy. I have come to realize that we should all strive to bloom where we are planted. We have to resist our natural urge to only look after our own interests. We have to take it upon ourselves to guarantee that the next generations do not ever have to leave home, do not ever have to leave their properties behind, do not ever have to sink in debts just to get access to what they believe is quality education. Opportunities have to be decentralized. The notion of Imperial Manila must be deconstructed. And this can never happen if we brain drain our home of the best and the brightest. I did not settle with UNC. I chose UNC. I did not stay behind in Naga. I chose Naga. To those of you who are still iffy about trying to go to law school, trying their luck in what they believe is so difficult, remember that the greatest regrets in life are not the mistakes we made, but the chances we never took because we were too afraid to try. Life is all about making choices. Sometimes we make good ones, sometimes we make bad ones. But let us not allow ourselves to be enclosed in that fear. To not do things because we are too afraid to commit mistakes. Let us not hold ourselves captive and keep us in constant fear of making those mistakes. As Thomas Aquinas wisely said, if the highest aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would leave it in port forever. Safe but unfulfilled, secured but purposeless. So take a leap of faith. Brave the unknown. Show yourself. I am Kian, and thanks to UNC, I am future ready.
Hi, this is Faye, your proud UNC ambassador. Now that the conventional face-to-face education is placed in great limits, online is all right, virtual is the new normal, and blended is our bet. We said this before and we will say it again. At UNC, everybody makes it. At UNC, we are future ready. With the guidelines in place and support at hand, UNC promises to make the new normal a better normal. Now let's get interactive. We love to hear from our viewers, UNCians, soon to be UNCians, and the dear parents. Our speakers will be happy to address your questions and clarifications. We will now give way to your inquiries. The first question is for the School of Law. The question is for Dean Antonio Rivero of the UNC School of Law. And this is from Mr. Johnson Yaplin, incoming second-year Juris Doctor. Dean, this is the question. What are the alternative student services that UNC will offer in the new normal?
Good day, Mayor Johnson Yaplin. If your question is referring to library and internet, as well as access to the offices of the Dean, alternative services will be delivered still, despite this pandemic, by way of the following. Though I was informed by our librarian that the library will be open, or you will be given access to the library still, but it would be on a limited capacity only and unlimited hours. That is why, because of this situation, we have to use online research. At present, our library has existing online journals like EBS Co-host, Elsevier Direct. It also has Philippine journals, but these are multidisciplinary one. Though there are also some law topics on this. Because of this, we will be subscribing to other online database research like 𝗕𝗔𝗍 or other database similar to that, as well as the 𝗕𝗍. We will also try to provide an online hotline on student follow-ups and concerns in the office of the Dean. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Bong. So everyone, at UNC School of Law, we are awaiting a school year that holds so much promise. The second question is for the College of Arts and Sciences, and this is for Dean 𝗕𝗓𝗄. Dean Kenji, this is the question from Mr. John Ray Hilario, BS Biology. According to him, there are courses in AS which are in need of laboratories for their experiments. His question is, how do the two proposed modalities, the FlexiKit and FlexiTech of UNC for the new normal, can be applied to this?
Thank you so much, Ma'am Faye. And of course, thank you to John Ray for that question. We are ready to address the concern of our laboratory classes. In fact, just last Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs through Ma'am Mia Gomez, our Academic Affairs Officer, already asked me to give me the number of licenses that we're going to subscribe to Lobster. Lobster is an educational company that provides online simulation of laboratories for sciences. So that's one, John Ray. You will be provided with licenses through Lobster so that you can use it. Even you are at home, you can still conduct your simulation activity through this platform. Second, the modules that were prepared or were developed by our biology teachers already included some laboratory activities that can be conducted at home. They provided instructions, simulation activities, procedure in order for you to do this at the comfort of your home. Number three, if the government through the IATF will allow us already to have our physical reporting to school by observing proper health protocols, you may have your laboratory activities in your respective laboratory classrooms and use the laboratory equipments needed for your respective subjects. So this would be the things that we are doing in order for you to be ensured that you will still experience laboratory simulation, this new normal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us a heads up. And those were great news, by the way. Studying in your own pace, in your own place, will be an amazing educational and learning experience. The next question will be for the School of Law. The question is for Attorney Angel Ohastro III, alumnus of UNC School of Law. Attorney Angel, the question is from Mr. Francis Moraleda, incoming third year Juris Doctor, and here it is. What are the study tips you could give to law students, especially in this new normal?
Yes, thank you, Faye, and thank you, Francis. By the way, Francis, I believe is my student, and thank you for the question. Let me phrase my answer in two ways, or in two time periods. The first way is, of course, how do you study in the short term? Given that we have this pandemic, everyone understands that we are adopting the online or blended learning also, and we have been training to use online platforms. Now, for students, for the short term, the first thing that we should take into consideration is our awareness. So be aware. Be aware for what? You know, these are extraordinary times, and we need to be aware of the condition, not just of yourself, of your family, but also of your classmates, also of your professors, because you know, as we go through all these things, someone might be sick of, God forbid, COVID-19 or some other illnesses. But we have to be constantly aware of each other so that we would not lose that sense of community, not just as a school, but also as a family of students. You know, I consider my students my own family. So that's one thing. Awareness. The second one is for the short term, is we need to be flexible. Well, I don't see any problem for law students not being flexible, because most of you, if not all of you, unlike many of us in our generation X and earlier generation, your Gen Z has been born to technology. So flexibility isn't much of a problem. But what you need to be flexible on is, of course, your ability to make adjustments, especially when your professors are adapting new ways of delivering the lessons. Each professor may not adopt the same technique. We use different techniques. So you need flexibility, and you have to be open-minded. You must be open to new ways of doing things. You know, as future lawyers, as law students, with or without this pandemic, we are being trained to be open. And this openness allows us to innovate, to be creative. The fourth thing that you need to consider in the short term is your preparedness. You have to be prepared for anything. Something might occur in your family and you need to do something about it. You need to prepare for it. How are you going to deal with every situation? Well, I would like to emphasize an old adage. This is a old Filipino saying that in matters of preparation, daig ng maagap ang masipag. So for your online learning, most especially, it has become quite complicated for many of us. And working on the computer might be too burdensome for many. So you need to prepare your work early on. As soon as you get to the information that something has to be done, you need to do it right away. If it is a big task, then you need to break it down into digestible pieces. Work on it every day. Have a schedule for working on big tasks every day. Now is the time for you to have that habit, that work ethic. Another short-term consideration is your ability to get organized. Organize your things, organize your day well. You have to begin your day or a day before that by listing your priority things to be done for the next day. Start with the most important one. You cannot list down all of it. You have to identify which one is the most important or the most important 3 things, big things for the day. Then you need to, of course, be kind to yourself. When you study, be kind to yourself. Do not overreach in your studies. When you need to rest, you rest. When you need to eat during meal times and be with your family, sometimes that's the only time for us to have a real meaningful discussion with family members. Be with them. Have time for the family. Be kind to yourself by joining your family members, and have your passion expressed in many ways also. For myself, I've been into farming, I've been into some sports activities, and I do a lot of things just to be able to take off my mind from the stresses of some academic preparations and some of the professional work that we do as lawyers. And another thing for the short term is you need to be proactive. All right, so you don't have to wait. You have to do something as soon as you learn of it. Sometimes giving a helping hand to a classmate who is having difficulty accessing the internet, perhaps you could give a helping hand. And of course, you need to be resilient nowadays. Resiliency is a big word, all right? Now, resiliency is the accumulation of everything that you've experienced. And for the past months, I'm sure that you've already gained such resiliency, but you need to have more of that because this will be an extended time, a critical period as law students, for example. Resiliency goes into the future because what you are experiencing today as law students will be extended into the future. Now you can say something to yourself that you can face the future because you are facing today. Because you are able to face present, then you are prepared for tomorrow. And as I was saying to my students many times, you need to have the focus. You need to get off the distractions. Social media has been a plague for many of us, not an exception for law students. You need to have less time for social media. You need to have more time for your studies. You need to set your daily goals, your weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly, and a decade-old or a lifetime goal. Set them. Because whatever the conditions are, you will graduate in law school. And we will graduate from the pandemic. Now, moving forward with UNC as our helping hand, we could sail through all these things because we are able to make a determination that we need to accomplish something. We need to achieve something. And that something must be relevant, must be important, not just to ourselves. As I was saying a while ago, we need to have that moral and spiritual goal as lawyers also. Lawyers who do not have goals that are moral and spiritual in nature will be useless lawyers in the future because they will just destroy themselves and they will just destroy their communities. So you need to have that goal. Those are the long-term considerations that you need to instill in yourselves as students. Also, for the short term and for the long term, as students, you need to acquire new skills. Don't rely on what you have learned before the pandemic. We are being ushered into a new age, an age that requires a lot of specialized skills. we can do a lot of things. In fact, technology right now is very helpful and could aid us in, could assist us very well in accomplishing the many, many tasks that online learning requires now. So I hope I answered the question of Francis.
Thank you so much, Attorney Angel Ohastro III, a proud alumnus of UNC School of Law. Wow, those were incredibly great tips that will certainly work wonders. I definitely agree on everything, and especially about honoring God first. Thank you so much, sir. And our next question is for Dean Kenji of the College of Arts and Sciences. The question is from Ms. 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗲𝗲, AB Political Science. And Dean Kenji, this is the question. In this new normal, what are the methods of AS department in ensuring that the students are positively progressing in their academic studies?
Thank you for that question, 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗲𝗲, the interim governor or chairperson of the College of Arts and Sciences. Now, even before the start of the first semester, school year 2020-2021, I have already instructed and directed our program heads to ensure or to put in place consultation mechanism for our students. And the program heads will ensure that an open communication will be maintained all throughout the semester. CP numbers, messenger of our faculty members will be available for academic counseling. And moreover, in order for us to ensure that we can, we are tracking your progress, positively tracking your progress as students, the learning management system that we're going to use, the Blackboard, will have this feature wherein your activities, your graded activities will be recorded, your quizzes will be recorded, and aside from that, we will ensure that our teachers, our program heads will always be ready for your questions through synchronous meetings, because we know that there is also a need for us to have synchronous meeting. The university will provide a Zoom license for the College of Arts and Sciences that will be used in order for us to have at least a synchronous meeting with our students. There, you can ask your teachers, or you can inquire from your teachers your academic progress, and we will ensure that you will be provided with your performances through this open communication scheme, so that you are aware of your performance. I think that will be all, 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗲𝗲𝗲 and Ma'am Faye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Kenji Jimenea. So, AS students and soon-to-be AS students, you heard it right from the Dean himself. Communication is critical. Communication is the key. And be assured that the AS department will help you every step of the way. The last question is for the UNC School of Law. And this is for Mr. Kian Hamer, the governor of UNC Law School Board. And it is from Mr. Ronan Revilala, incoming freshman, UNC School of Law. This is the question. Is it possible to balance work, co-curricular activities, and law school?
Thank you for that question, Ronan. So, is it possible to balance work, law school, and co-curricular activities? Yes, it is possible, but it's gonna be challenging. And there are two ways for you to be able to do that. First, you need to set your priorities straight. Obviously, not all things are of the same level. Not all things are of the same importance and urgency. So you need to be able to identify which things demands your most attention. What are important things, urgent things, and important and urgent things. So if you're able to identify them, I'm sure you would be able to pick the things that you need to prioritize first. The second thing is that you need to know where your heart lies. Is it really important for you to pursue co-curricular activities alongside with your law school? Is it really important for you to continue working? If the answer is yes, then you do not need to sacrifice them. It's very important to note that UNC offers a very, very flexible schedule, especially for working students like us. The curriculum, the schedule are patterned in a way that would allow people to have a life beyond law school. So it's good that you chose UNC to entrust your dreams and aspirations to. You do not need to give up any part of yourself just for this dream. Remember that being a law student and eventually becoming a lawyer is just part of who you are, but it is not who you are. So go ahead, pursue co-curricular activities, pursue your work, excel in those areas that you chose to be part of. And I pray to God that you will excel in all of those things. Thank you.
Way to go, Mr. 𝗬𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗀, the governor of the UNC Law School Board. Yes, it is difficult and challenging to balance our different priorities, but it is very possible. Thank you so much. The next question is for the College of Arts and Sciences for Dean Kenji Himinea. And the question is from Ms. Sherlyn Cabrera, AB Psychology. This is the question. Since most of my classes are blended classes, how will the Flexi Kits be delivered to me here in Masbate?
Thank you, Sherlyn, for that question. And hello there in Masbate. There's no worry, Cheryl, because the University of Nueva Cáceres, even before the start of school year 2020-2021, already prepared for this kind of concern. Since Flexi Kit will be distributed to all our students, especially those in far-flung areas like Masbate, we partnered with courier services in the region or in the city, like LBC or JRS Express. These courier services will be utilized in distributing the Flexi Kit to our students in far-flung areas like Masbate. So no worries, you will be able to get your Flexi Kit, and we will make sure that you will get it on or before the start of the first semester school year 2020-2021.
Thank you so much, Dean Kenji Himinea. So everyone, we can see that the AS department has creative and concrete solutions on your unique problems. The next question is for the School of Law. The question is for Attorney Angel Ohastro III, alumnus of UNC School of Law. And this is from Ms. Veronica Serrano, incoming fourth year, Juris Doctor. Attorney Angel, this is the question. Is the practice of law really worth all the sacrifices we are making right now as law students?
Thank you, Faye, and thank you, Veronica, for that question. Tough question, though. However, I could flatly say that the practice of law is most relevant, not just for ourselves, but also for our country, but also for the overall health of our communities. Why do I say that? Well, lawyers do not just become litigators. Lawyers become also policymakers, whether at the local, at barangay level. You can be consulted by your barangay captain for a barangay issue concerns your barangay. You could be a policymaker at the city level, for example, or you could be a policymaker at the national level, just like what I do. Now, as a private practitioner, even if I am not a government consultant, I am still able to help many communities right now just by sharing what I know as a lawyer. Now, I'm into many advocacies, for example. I'm into environmental advocacy. Now, for that alone, I've been able to extend many legal opinions that have been used by many communities, not just in Bicol region, but also in other regions. And those legal opinions had big impacts in those communities for the better. Now, talk about social enterprises that I'm into, for example, that's also private practice of law. When you advise someone on the law, that's private practice. Now, I'm into the housing social enterprise, for example. I'm a counsel for a national builder of homes for the underprivileged, which is funded by an international organization also, an impact investor. Now, what we've been doing right now, even during this pandemic, me as a counsel, is to guide. I'm able to guide the social enterprise corporation into navigating the challenges of the pandemic in terms of bureaucracy, in terms of how to deal with government agencies, the new rules that come out. So without the lawyer's guidance, it will be very difficult for corporations, for social enterprises to move forward and be able to reach those that really need reach. We're able to provide homes for the underprivileged during this pandemic in many areas of the country. Just yesterday, for example, we had an activity for mental health, especially for children with mental health disabilities all over the country. Now, my knowledge of the law has been used in bridging gaps between government and advocates for these families with children who have disabilities, for example. So by simply advising them on how to bridge their differences and become partners, and by understanding the institution, the possible institutional arrangements as provided for by law, then yesterday we were able to reach a lot of children disadvantaged, not just by their inherent physical infirmities, but also by this pandemic, that they are able to move forward, and that the families, the parents have been able to breathe through these very tight periods of time. So I say that practice of law is not just about handling actual cases for court litigation. It is a daily thing. You need to exercise your knowledge of the law, and that is practice of law, to be able to help others, to be able to make a difference, and that makes you happy, not just as a lawyer, but also as a person. You can die anytime today, but at least you die with a purpose. And that is also one of the reasons why the practice of law is so much regulated by the Supreme Court. It's because it is not a personal thing. It has a public purpose. It has a higher goal. I hope I was able to answer the question.
Thank you very much, Attorney Angel Ohastro III. Very well said, sir. And the UNC School of Law will continue to raise men and women who will uphold the rule of law and administer justice for God, nation, and the fellow man. Thank you to all the students and viewers for sending your questions in, and we are immensely grateful to our speakers for accommodating them. Everyone, this crisis, which is an unprecedented time, is ripe this moment to make history. With the help of the Almighty, we can all shift gears from crisis mode to opportunity mode. This is 𝗦𝗰𝗵𝗵𝗀, a proud UNC ambassador, and my message is, let's take heart, because at UNC, we are future ready.
The road to justice begins at UNC. Criminology students train side by side with our partner law enforcement agencies, working on the field with practical internships and real employment exam simulation. The College of Law is home to the finest legal minds in Bicol, changing our nation's future for the better, one UNC graduate at a time. UNC College of Law and UNC College of Criminal Justice Education, University of Nueva Cáceres, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
In the University of Nueva Cáceres, we nurture Bicol's educators.
Today, we forge a partnership with the National Teachers College in Manila, the pioneer in producing esteemed educators for our nation. With an enriched program, we nurture fine teachers who will mold the hearts and minds of our future generation. It all starts here, in the heart of Bicol.
The University of Nueva Cáceres, nurturing better tomorrows for all.
Hi, it's Kian. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this episode of the UNC webinar series, which features the College of Arts and Sciences and School of Law. This episode is entitled University of Nueva Cáceres, Shaping Leaders of Today and Tomorrow. Let me share with you an excerpt of what Vice President Leni Robredo, a proud alumna of the UNC School of Law, said in an open letter to graduates of 2020. There is no reason to put your dreams on hold. In fact, you are called to pursue these dreams with even deeper resolve. To dream not only for yourselves and your families, but for the last, the least, and the lost. When the path seems too difficult, remember that you were made for these times. Over 7 decades, the University of Nueva Cáceres shaped leaders like Vice President Leni Robredo and Mayor Nelson Legacion, who are now leading us towards a better world. Institutions like UNC prepare them not just for school, but for life. So without a doubt, they made the right choice in entrusting their dreams and aspirations to UNC, who made them future ready. Now the question is, do you want to be part of this legacy? Choose UNC.